This episode brought to you by True Audio, sound equipment sales, rentals, and service for film and video production, with 3 convenient locations throughout the United States: Nashville, Tennessee, Atlanta, Georgia, and Los Angeles, California. Check them out online, trueaudio.com.
Hi, and welcome to txtNationTV. My name's Rusty G, and this is the video comparison of the Zoom H6 4-channel audio recorder, as well as the Tascam Dr-70D 4-channel audio recorder. Coming up. Hey guys, Rusty G here, and it's been a while since we've done a video. I know Alan and myself are building houses each at the same time. A lot of fun. So we're getting this much closer to actually being built. And with the houses comes new things, new furniture, this and that, and a new studio for myself and Alan. Also with that comes upgrades. I'm actually recording right now via a wireless mic that I have on. I have a Lav Mic on that's kind of hanging here. But either way, I've got a Lav Mic going wireless to my old H4n. I wanted to upgrade the equipment because we've done interviews over the years in different, videos that we could have used 3 mics or 4 mics, stuff like that, where the H4 couldn't exactly do what I needed to do. There has been an upgrade in between with the H5, but I didn't want to get that because it's still basically a 2 XLR channel input that I can only record with 2 of those, and I've needed 3 or 4 at times. So over the years, we've looked at different things and tried different products out as far as just friends who had other things. Well, now we've actually come upon being able to purchase an upgrade for ourselves. So I've been looking into 2 different options, and I hope that I can get you a great video comparison to figure out what it is that you want, because I think these 2 are very comparable. The only difference is the Zoom H6 is $399 MSRP if you get it from a retailer. Comes with some extra accessories there. The Tascam Dr-70D comes in at $299. So you're looking at $300 here, and you're looking at $400 here. What's the price difference? Is it a need for the $100 more for purchasing the Zoom? Let's take a look. All right, so one of the first things I wanted to look into is usability and dynamic and versatility and all that jazz, just from without getting into all the technicality of it, the specs, and this one does this and this one does that. Because basically, to me, and just me as a basic consumer, prosumer, we'll call myself, they do exactly the same thing. They both have external mics. They both have 4 XLR inputs. They both have line inputs availability that you're able to do from other sources with a stereo cable that you can just plug in with the the 1/8 inch stereo mic. So basically, one of the first things that you see with the Tascam Dr-70D is on the side you have 3 different channels that you can pick from right there, and on the opposite side your 4th XLR. One great thing is they actually have these lock-ins to where you can actually feel the cable being put in. So if you take a look, just your standard XLR cable that you plug in, it plugs in upside down in my head, but either way, you hear that? It was a nice click and pop. It lets you know that it's locked in, and I like that feeling. It just lets you know that that cable's not going to be going anywhere, so I like that. And obviously you just push in, pull the cable right out. So looking at the same thing on the Zoom H6, there are no locks. It's just the 2 channels here on this side and the 2 channels here on this side, and of course if you get the extra one, you can do 6 of them. But either way, there are no locks. But I really have no complaints because I had the H4n, which I'm using right now to record, and I can put this in and it feels kind of snug as you go in, but there is no pop. It's just kind of a slide to let you in. And it's not going to be easily taken out. I'm not saying it can't be taken out, but just not easily. I'm sure if a standard trip over, somebody tripping over a cord might pull it, and especially if it's attached to your rig as you're recording, it might pull out fairly easily. So just be aware of that. It does take a little bit of, oomph to get it out of there. So don't be worrying about that. I wouldn't really have to worry about that. One of the big things that I'm having an issue with as to whether select this or that is the Tascam Dr-70D comes with this 1/4 inch 20 on top and on the bottom. So basically I can put my tripod here and mount my camera here, and it stays in line with my rig per se. So I really do like that. And because, I'm able to add pretty much whatever I want to. And if I don't want to, I can actually remove this and then add whatever I want to on top of it, because there's actually a hot shoe mount underneath here that sits there. So if I want to shoe mount something else, so this could sit on top of the camera or under the camera. I just like the idea of sitting underneath the camera. The thing on this,
not so much. You have to buy a little accessory because the quarter 20 is here on the back. What you're looking at is just right there, and that's it. So it's either going to have to sit, let's just say this is your camera, I don't know. So this is your camera, and all you have is the shoe mount on top. You're going to have to buy the little accessory that allows the shoe mount to let this sit on the back of your camera, and you can turn it this way or that way, however you want your 4 cables running out of your camera, whatever it is. So this or this kind of, I like this better in the sense that this sits in line with my stuff, and that's one of the big reasons why I don't like this sitting. I have the H4n currently, and I've always had to kind of lay it off to the side or put it somewhere else in the rig, so it kind of depends completely on what you're looking at. One of the other things is quick accessibility and how to get it up and running. The one thing that you'll see, and I'll show you a video of this, is me turning on the Zoom H6. It comes on fairly quickly, and I like that. It's almost instant. My poor H4 now takes almost anywhere between 20 seconds on up to 90 seconds. So turning the Zoom on is almost instant. It's literally, I turn it on, within a few seconds, it's up and going. With the Tascam Dr-70D, turning this thing on, it's about 5 to 8 seconds. It's a little bit longer, not like it's, oh my God, I have to wait forever. First world problems, but either way, it just takes a little bit longer. You have to hold this little side button down, as I'm showing you there. Sometimes it takes 2 seconds, sometimes it takes 10 seconds, but it's a range that changes going in there. So that's neither here nor there, but just letting you know as far as turning it on. One of the other things is you want quick accessibility to batteries and SD card. Both with these, fairly simple. Zoom does it a little bit more complicated in this, well, I shouldn't say complicated, but a little bit different, because if you've got this thing plugged into the back, you have to basically unscrew it to get to it because the batteries are here in the back. Once you pull open, you pull out your batteries, and there you go. Your SD card is actually off to the side here, and you can actually pull this down to the side and pull your SD card out. So that's not really hard to get to. That's not much of a complaint. It's just, where else are they going to stick it in this form factor? I mean, it's great back here. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that's one way of doing the batteries. That's how Zoom does it. Tascam does this neat little idea, and some people complain. I really like it because, again, if I'm sticking this in my rig and my camera's here and my tripod's here or whatever, I want to be able to access it. So here in the back they have this little thumb thing that I can pull out and pop right out, and then you can see here's the SD card that pops right out and get right to it, and then you just pull the little battery door down. Let's see if I can do this. Yep. Pull that little thing down, and there's your battery, so you get to your batteries without having to mess with the rest of your rig pretty much. But you just pop it right back in there and you close it right up and you're good to go. So I like that. I like that a little bit better as far as accessibility, as far as getting into it. Both of these obviously have line inputs and being able to use something else other than XLR. So if you're using that 1/8" stereo adapter, this actually has one for external in that you'll see here on the side, and then one from the camera as well if you'd like. And then it actually has a remote section just as well. That's there on the side, as well as with the H6. Same thing here. It used to actually be here on the side with the H4n. It no longer is on that side. It's actually built into the XY microphone accessory. So if you look real close at the XY microphone, there's a little gold ring right there. That's your input. But once you go into the input, this no longer works. You're now negating this. And if you need power to this microphone, that provides power through here just as well. One thing I do like about the Zoom that I don't think the Tascam, or at least I haven't been able to see it without having the headphones, there is no built-in speaker, so I can't hear anything if I absolutely have to. Obviously, this is an emergency situation and you want to have your headphones plugged in or this plugged into a computer somehow to have the audio coming out that way. But the Zoom does have the headphone jack here on the side as well as here, but it also has the speaker on the back, so that if I absolutely have to hear something right then and there, I can hear it as I'm out there on the floor and listen to it because of the built-in speaker back on the Zoom H6. Moving into usability of the actual device, I will say the Zoom has it a little bit better. Once I turn the device on, it's a simple click of 1, 2, 3, 4, or my left and right. If I happen to be plugged in up here, I can turn them off or on however that I need to, record, play, whatever, do whatever it is that I need. It's fairly simple, fairly quick, easy here. It is easy here in the Tascam just as well. It's just a little bit more complicated whenever you're switching from the mics in the back for channels 3 and 4 and then going into an XLR input, because you have to figure out, okay, am I going into the basic menu, or am I going into the input menu, or am I going into the monitor menu to figure it all out? And I think the usability of it as far as the software is concerned here, and that's just something that Tascam could probably upgrade or change out, or just change the firmware, because there's not much there when it comes to the software. But I think usability wise, it's easier and quicker here as far as being able to change on the fly or whatever it is that you need. So I think usability wise, quicker here, not so much here. There's a little tiny little bit more of a learning curve when it comes to the software here. They're both very great devices. I just think the usability is a lot better here with the H6. For on-the-go recording, you also want to pay attention to your pots, or pods, or whatever you want to call them. I call them pots. I'm pretty sure that's the pro term. But anyway, you want to be able to pot up your individual lines as you can control them. Both of them you see here are have the pots on the side or top, however you want to look at it. Here I don't have numbers, I just basically you have to go by the monitor that you see on screen as you're going up or down, and you can see, and your peak point is the little red light, and you can change that on the fly as you go. Now for the Zoom H6, this is numbered actually, and the arrows actually point to where you're at, and you can see what you're looking at. So as you're turning, you can see what number you're at and where you're at. Also, a great thing that the H6 has is, starting out, is the negative 20 decibel drop, the pad. Basically, if someone gets a little bit too hot, I can click over and it automatically drops them 20 decibels, which is like that. And the great thing about it is it's got a built-in, I'm not sure how it does it, but I don't hear the little click, and you'll hear that later in the audio test as we do that. But you don't hear the click unless obviously your microphone's right there. But just basically, you just, drop someone down if they get too loud, whatever, get too hot, whatever it is. So I like that here on the H6 a little bit better. Alright, now I'm recording directly from the microphone that's built into the Canon, so you're going to hear a lot more echoey effect and kind of grainy and this and that, because I'm using the built-in microphone on the camera. But what I wanted to do is give you an audio change as to see. This is the Tascam Dr-70D. I'm going to switch now. And as you see, the Tascam Dr-70D is fairly well built. Again, you have the 1/4 inch on the bottom that you can plug in your gear to, and then put your camera here on top if you feel the need. But this is talking into the built-in microphones, which is 3 and 4 on the actual audio input. So if you're looking for those, it's channels 3 and 4 that you'll be recording to. A lot of people say there's not good stereo separation between these two. I'm assuming it's because it's the built-in microphones are so close to each other and you're into a single built-in unit, but it does allow the same thing that the Zoom has. You have 4 channels, you have 2 built-in microphones. And so this is basically the audio quality that you're going to get from the Tascam Dr-70D. I'm going to put this down now, hopefully without blowing out your ears. Put that down softly, and there we go. And now I'm going to switch back to the Canon just so you can hear the audio difference. Again, you can hear that changeover right there. You're back to the normal microphone coming from the camera. Now I'm going to switch over to the Zoom H6. And you can hear now, you should be able to hear a little bit better audio quality. I'm using the XY mics that come with the H6. I'm using them at the 90-degree angle. Now this just lets you hear basically what's right here, and it comes with a windsock if you want. That basically that styrofoam little boot that goes on top. Currently it's at 7, and I can drop down to 6, 5, and 5 should be where I cut out. But as you can hear, 6 to 7 and maybe even 8 may be good for you in the field. But there you go. It's just letting you hear the sound quality of the built-in mics for the Zoom H6. And then now you can hear the regular camera quality again. Hopefully I didn't blow out your ears there too loud. Hopefully I didn't get too loud. But that's just a sound comparison of the built-in mics of the Dr-70D and the Zoom H6. All right, so guys, this is me recording directly into the H6 with just some cheap microphones. I got some Audix OM2s. I'm just using the microphone directly into the recorder, and as you can see there, currently in between 6 and 7. One complaint that I did hear, though, was that there was a major drop-off between 5 and 6. So I'm going to move down to 6. You can hear me getting softer. There's 5 right there. Again, 5 is very, very, very low, it seems, and then obviously as you get down, continuing on, you'll hear there's 5, 6, and there's 7. So yeah, there's a great deal of difference between 5, 6, and 7. Is just testing it out right there, and you'll see as it gets hotter there. And you're just having to take my word for it. Obviously, my finger is off screen, and you can't really see too much right there. But 7 seems to be a good recording point, just getting started, just to give it a shot. Alright, so guys, this is me recording with a different microphone. This is actually one of my studio microphones. It's a condenser microphone. It's a Sterling Audio ST55. As you can tell, the audio is a lot hotter, and I'm in between 6 and 7 right now and holding the microphone roughly about 16 inches away from my face right now, and it's picking up pretty much everything. You can tell there, and I'm going to do this again, the same as I did on the other. I'm going to come down to about 5 and see what the difference is. Alright, so currently right now, that is 5. I'm currently on 5, and I can go down, all the way down. Here, it's not going much of anywhere, and then I come back. So there's 5, and then we're going to go into 6, and then we're going to go into 7. And now you can tell in between 6 and 7, I haven't moved the microphone because it's stationary, but you can tell that this is obviously a much better quality microphone based upon just the sound quality that you're hearing now, and it sounds a little bit deeper. Of course, I could go into the settings and go into the low ends and cut out some of the low ends and do some of the limiters and stuff like that and mess with that. But the great thing I love about this one over the Tascam Dr-70D is, one thing is, if you get someone that's too hot with the pad here, you can actually drop 20 decibels almost instantly, and you can cut them down, and you're not really hearing anything. I mean, obviously you can still hear me, and I'm much lower, but you can still hear me, and you didn't get a loud click, pop, hiss, or anything like that as I was changing. And if need be, and that person gets a lot quieter, you can go right back to normal just like that. And obviously you heard the click because of the manual click, but if you're wired away from everyone else like a mixing board usually would be, you would never get that clicking sound. So just another test with a different microphone on the Zoom H6. Alright guys, this is the Zoom H6 with a wireless lav mic. This is the one that we use whenever we don't want to have a mic in hand, or we don't want to have a mic in front of our face. So I have plugged in currently this AKG system that I bought, and you can hear fairly decent. I'm currently at 7, and you can see here, same thing as before, dropping down to about 5. And 5 is where I start to drop out. 4 just gets into completely nothing. But once you get into 5, there's 6, there's 7. So roughly you want to keep it in between 5 and 7 whenever you're recording most of the time. It seems like you'll get most of the audio that you need, and you can change as needed. So there you go. That's an audio test with a wireless lav mic to the Zoom H6. Alright guys, this is the Tascam Dr-70D. This is recording with my Audix OM2 standard microphones that I use for whenever I do interviews, running guns, stuff like that. I'm currently in the 4th XLR channel, which can be mixed with the microphones up front or with an XLR, sorry, excuse me. And you can see here I can turn it all the way up, and you can see I can get louder there, and then I can turn it down, and I can get down to a little past. Obviously, you're not hearing much of me anymore. But anyway, I can control those volumes there, and I'm going to see if I can peak. Yeah, you see the light there letting you know that I'm peaking, going beyond what needs to be for noises. But you can see there, it's pretty much easy, fairly easy to control that 4th channel to be able to control and see what's going on. So we'll move on to the next mic. Alright guys, this is me recording directly with my upgraded studio mic, the ST55. This is one of our studio mics that we'll use inside the studio. This is just to give you an idea of audio quality directly plugged into the mic. Obviously, this mic needs phantom power, so it does allow for phantom power. And if you look on the bottom left-hand side, there's a little dot right over here that lets you know that it's running phantom power, which is awesome. And it actually, whenever you turn the device on, it actually tells you as well, hey, you have phantom power turned on, channel whatever you have it turned on. Are you sure? So that it makes sure that you don't blow out any of your microphones that don't need that. So that's a great safety feature. But this has been the audio recording test of the ST55 into the Tascam Dr-70D. Alright guys, this is me recording again into my AKG wireless mic, and I've got it within a few inches of my face. I've obviously got it turned down, so I'll turn it up only because I had the ST55 beforehand, and it didn't catch up, and I was actually, I think I had to have one of the limiters on just so they didn't blow out. But either way, this is the wireless mic, and you can tell I'm not using the ST55 anymore, because if you look again, you will not see that little circle that lets you know that I have the phantom power on, and that I've actually got the microphone being powered through wireless, obviously, since I'm using a wireless pack of my AKG microphone. But this is just another test of the Tascam Dr-70D with a wireless lav mic.
Alright guys, that's going to be my video comparison of the Zoom H6 and the Tascam Dr-70D. $300 here, $400 here, currently in spring of 2015. I think the $100 is worth it here if you need what you need here. Obviously, this is more for versatility. If I want to change this out and go from the XY mic to the side mic, or to the optional shotgun mic, or even to the optional add-on XLR that I can turn this into a 6-channel audio recorder, you can. So the extra $100 is basically what you're paying for, is versatility here. I honestly don't see anything different between the two other than that. Both of these are able to plug into the computer and do USB. Both of these are able to do your standard XLR. Both of these have the manual pots that you can do that we showed earlier. I mean, both of them pretty much do exactly the same. They boot up fairly quickly. They're great devices. They both go to SD up to 128 gigabytes on your SD cards. They're both great devices. It's just, do you want to spend $100 less and get something that you can put inside of your current setup and have it stacked right on top, as we talked about earlier? Or do you want to have something side stacked to where you can have something off to the side with more versatility? It just depends on what you need. Figure out what it is that you want. Sound quality wise, I think both of them are wonderful devices. $300 here, $400 here. You guys go make a decision, because now I have to go make a decision. Thanks again for watching, guys. Make sure you stay subscribed. It's txtNationTV. We are youtube.com/txtNationTV. You can follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/txtNationTV. Like us on Facebook. Spread the word. If you like our videos, go back and watch some of the old stuff and see what we've got there. If you're on Google+, we're also on there twice, actually, for some odd reason. I couldn't get the first account that I created with the new txtNationTV, so there's 2 accounts out there if you go and look for it. It's really weird. I haven't figured out how to combine them just yet, so if you can help me with that. Either way, we're pretty much on every social media, but just make sure you always go to txtNation.tv. Thanks again for watching, guys. Subscribe, like, share the video, do whatever you can. Leave comments below and let me know how you liked it. Thanks for watching.
Hey guys, again, thanks for watching this video, and I wanted to give a quick shout out again, even though it's brought to you by, I wanted to let you guys know how awesome True Audio is. I actually have one here in Nashville, Tennessee, and they were grateful to help me out with getting both of these in-house. So I was able to rent the H6 and rent the Tascam for the week, so I greatly appreciate it. So these guys pretty much do professional audio and pretty much every range of it that you can think of. They go into the high end. They have mixers. They have different things that you can rent throughout the week, and they do not only rentals, but they do service as well and sales as well. So if you need something to do with pro audio recording, go check them out online. It's trueaudio.com. It's TREW audio.com. They've got everything there. They've got videos and different things. Again, they've got locations in Nashville, Tennessee, Atlanta, Georgia, Los Angeles, California, Vancouver, and Toronto, Canada. So go check them out. Thanks again, guys. Stay tuned, keep watching, and subscribe and like.